Libra.
Hello Libra, this is your March forecast for 2017, and you know what, I'm going to start out by sharing with you, we got two areas that are really highlight here for March, two clusters. The first one is the Sun, Mercury, and Neptune, which is in your 6th house for day-to-day routine, and then we have Mars, Venus, and Uranus, and the new moon in your 7th house for relationships. Now, the outer planets, they're still doing what they're doing, working in the background, but these are the two main areas of your life that's really going to shine here in March. And if you want to know where these two clusters are working in your moon or rising sign chart, then just go listen to them afterwards, because they will also give you a whole lot of direction for what you can expect additionally in the oncoming month. And let me tell you, it's going to be quite dynamic. Let's start with your 6th house. That is your day-to-day activity and work, and both the Sun and Mercury are keeping you aligned here to look at your routines, getting all your ducks in a row. It's also the area of health, so you'll be looking at how that works for you, if you need a checkup or maybe you want to start a diet. Neptune being here as well, that's been there for a long time. So both these planets, Sun and Mercury, will pass over it, but Neptune is also a very creative energy. So you might just find yourself, as it gets a little closer to that Neptune, that you would like to implement a little bit more of the spiritual energy of what Neptune represents, but also that creative side of which you hold. So colors and shapes, designs, music, that kind of thing, you might just feel how you want to beautify your surroundings in your day-to-day routine. And then, of course, your relationship, the 7th house energy. Here we have a lot of dynamic force. We got Venus and Mars in the sign of Aries, and that is that conquistador energy. You're going to be very fired up in March, both with Venus, because Venus wants to take charge. It wants to take a lead when in this sign. And where are you going to take your lead? In your relationship. So Mars being there, and it rules Aries, we got double whammy going on here. And for you, you will see that maybe you will be expressing a whole lot more, taking more initiative with your partner. If you happen to be single, well, this month you won't be shy. You won't be holding back on actually being the initiator. You can come to see that your partner too might be a little bit more feisty, fiery, passionate, and so forth, because it's really center focus on the relationship for you Libras. And of course we can expect maybe some surprises this month, because Uranus is there. Uranus is the wild card, and that's been traveling through your 7th house for a longer time, but right now it's going to get this visitation. Plus we have the new moon also this month, and that won't be before the 27th, and the new moon is always when we place our intentions. So your intentions for this day is all about how to focus, be more present in the now, and the now is at any given moment in time. The more present we are in the now, the more power we hold, and it's that self-empowerment that I think that both Venus and Mars can teach you this month, how it feels good to take action, to be in a leadership role, not just to sit and wait and procrastinate and think your partner is going to do something, but where you can add to the mix. So maybe that should be a part of your intention this month. Now Mars will be moving into a degree where it's going to share that same space with Uranus. It being the wild card, well, anything could happen, you know, for good or bad. When the energy is good, you can expect unexpected situations that can really turn things around, because Uranus is all about change, right? But, you know, when they're very impacted when they meet. So we just want to be careful that we're not a little accident prone. Also here at this time, it's easy to stub a toe or something, right? So knock on wood for that. But yeah, as we're talking about Venus, Venus will be retrograding and starting off March 4th, straight through April 15th. This will be in the relationship area, and then it will dip back into your 6th house, where you will probably have a little extra time to just check that you got everything, organized the way that you wanted it while Venus was direct in that area. So it will give you also more of an extended time as it moves direct back into the 7th house and keep you there. So I would like to say that at least straight through the end of April, coming into May, maybe mid-May. I don't have the charts in front of me right now, but that will give you this time to focus on what relationships really mean for you and how you want to perfect it, right? That's the blessing of having Venus in this area, that we could really work and tweak and perfect and renew all those things that we are so idealistic about, and then have all the dynamic energy of that Aryan energy with us. Jupiter will retrograde until June 10th. So for you, Jupiter is in your 1st house, and so you've been expanding ever since late last summer. You might have felt there's been a lot of personal growth, Libra, and you're liking it. There's more wind under your wings, right? So as your life is expanding, it might have expanded so quickly that there could have been some maybe opportunities that came to you, which you maybe didn't have time to really evaluate too closely at the time. But when it retrogrades, you might see situations from the past come back in and giving you now an extended time to look a little deeper at it, and whether it is something you'd like to open up and start with, and if so, it will always behoove you. Jupiter is not a difficult planet to have retrograde. On the contrary, it still can give us lots of blessings. Saturn will retrograde from next month in April, so right now here in March, we really want to get our ducks in a row. And for you, your Saturn is in the 3rd house, has to do with situations with your siblings, anything of short distance travel, maybe the closer community where you live, and it could also be all about communications and how we communicate. If you're writing or you've got verbal projects going on, presentations, it's good to have that completed. Say if there's exams, if you're a student and you're studying, get everything you can together prior to April 6th. When Saturn goes retrograde, it slows down, meaning our focus on these areas will slow down. We won't have the same motivation to move forward because we just want to kind of hang a little bit back. That will be until August 26th. So more on that next month when we get to April. But here, as we start off the month, it's such a creative time, Libra, with Sun and Neptune. They are conjunct. I feel this is you asking yourself, your higher self, what is it I really truly desire? What hopes, what dreams do I have? So you're really feeling connected to that source. It's a very spiritual source. And I feel that you're communicating it well too in these very first few days. And if we don't communicate it, well, listen, our partners or people, family around us, they're not telepathic for the most part anyway, right? So if we don't express what it is we're truly wanting, well, then they don't know how to give to you that. So you're giving them really an insight and a gift by speaking your heart, and watch how they'll just jump out of the woodwork, be happy to help you find that dream or to manifest it. We do have a little bit of an opposition going on here, starting off the month too, and that's Jupiter and Uranus. They're in opposition, meaning there is challenges when it comes to the political state. This is a global aspect, so the whole world is feeling it. And we know what's going on the home front here. We have seen a lot of demonstrations. It's not going to end anytime soon because Jupiter is going to retrograde. So it's going to stick around in this whole seesaw effect until that of mid-June. Then it's going to move direct and it's going to cross it again. So I'm thinking we're not going to get out of this mess before, say, August, maybe later than that as well. But that's globally. More on a personal level, what will that do for you? Having Jupiter in your first, Uranus in this seventh house, it's going to be more a challenge of justice, of right or wrong, what's fair, not fair, how we can balance your needs as opposed to your partner's needs. How can this improve, and if something's not really working, well, the friction will be there, and the friction will only aid for you to actually get a good grip and insight. Because if your partner hasn't been expressing it before, well, how would you know? This might come up now, so it gives you a chance to work with it. Same thing with you. If you haven't expressed things to your partner, it's going to rise here over these oncoming months, giving the opportunity to work with it and balance it out to find a better place between you and him or her. Then we have straight through to the 12th, great energy going on, where you could feel that your dynamic energy, Mars moving forward, is really coupling up here with Saturn. Saturn is in your third house, Mars in that seventh house. So I'm feeling that these talks that you're having on these very first few days of the month is really hitting home where it needs to go between you and your partner. Solidifying some direction, some goal, agreeing to take charge of whatever it may be for you individually. The 7th, 8th, 9th is also where you're feeling that you're seeing direct manifestation and action coming to you as a result of speaking your heart. You can see it is so important because sometimes we're just too humble to bring forward our own needs, right? And then we sit and wait and wait and wait, hoping that somebody's going to see it on their own, right? But this is a beautiful lesson in just seeing how quickly things can manifest once it's verbalized. Dynamic changes on the 8th and 9th. I feel that there's more empowerment to you. I see you communicating strongly now, affirming, validating these changes that are taking place, and Mars moving out of Aries on the 10th into your 8th house, I'm sorry. Then your focus is not just going to be on your partner, but now it's how do we relate in this new way. Taurus is very passionate. 8th house is very passionate because it's a Scorpion house. Mars being in there, so it's like triple, all right, energy. So whatever took place, top of the month, that first week, you're definitely going to start feeling that you're going to be relating deeper as a result. Mars and Taurus also gives us steadfastness in our desires. We're really close to what it is we believe. And the 12th to 17th, though, will bring around a situation, not necessarily between you and your partner at all, but I'm seeing there's a challenge where something needs to be worked with. Okay, Saturn is squared both to the Sun and Mercury. There might be some discussions coming up. That can be a whole different scenario than just you and your partner. But then the Sun will be moving into Aries on the 20th and joining that 7th house crowd, and where Venus and Mars has just moved out of it, but it laid the ground, the foundation for it, didn't it? So now you can come in and radiate and absorb even more of all that good stuff that the earlier weeks did provide. The 20th, straight throughout the rest of the month, I see initiations of new things coming in. That's going to be discussed. We have the Sun and Venus. They are conjunct, and that's the romantic day of the year where they only meet up one day a year, and that's on the 25th. And for you, that will be in your 7th house. You'll love it. It is romantic. For those of you single, you might meet somebody here on the 25th. And then I'm seeing here 26th and 27th, there is, it could be a contract that maybe will be coming your way, and which upon, yes, you can sign, even though Venus is retrograde at this point. However, though, if it's something that was discussed earlier, then it's still good to go ahead because Mercury is still at least direct. The only thing about Venus retrograde is hold off on any surgery, especially plastic surgery or any tattooing. those kind of things will not have, for the most part at least, a good outcome. Even haircuts, we just want Venus to be direct when we do those beauty things, right? Just for it to get a good result. But it is now a very creative time for you to have that extra passion and drive to reach those things. If you're a musician, if you were a painter, an artist, a dancer, a sculptor, all of those creative energies are coming in and coming really to this beautiful pivotal point on the 27th. So I think you've been feeling it from the very first day of March, straight through all of that of March. But then here we come, the big crescendo towards the end of the month, and where you can see these beautiful results of it. So Libra, you're just setting the stage for what you can expect in April. So go listen to your moon and rising sign now. See where these two clusters are bringing out other scenarios for you this month. Now see.